I guess we are live right now. Yes. Hello, hi YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. I have a great guest today. I have Steve Pellick. He's the CEO and founder of Auxilia Donor Management System, a great one. Thank you so much, Steve, for being here today.
Nora, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Noura Al-Masri. I am the founder and CEO of Noura's Books. I'm tax and accounting professional and the founder of Noura's Books. Again, so we're here today to talk about donor management system because this is one of the things that's really foundational for your organization in order to be able to have a good organization that is established and have always funding coming. You really have to have donor management system, because the first step you will have to do is identify your donors and see who your donors are. And then when you get those donations from them, when you reach out to them, you really have to have a way to manage and motivate them and keep in touch with them. And Auxilia is a great system to have. Actually, Steve and Amanda, and they have a great software. They did establish a great software that will cover a lot of your needs. And I'm so excited today for to share that with you, to introduce a great software and a great project. Steve, can you tell us a little bit about what did encourage you to do that? What motivated you to work on this?
Yeah, I appreciate it, and all great comments. I think for us, my partners and I were in corporate jobs and just not feeling professionally fulfilled. And I think we had all reached a point where, like most entrepreneurs, wanted to do our own thing and felt like we certainly knew how to run a company better. Just that's how we felt. At the end of the day, to be able to give back to nonprofits has been so rewarding. So really what encouraged us is simply the fact that we wanted to focus on an area that we felt was not focused on enough, and that is the small to mid-sized community-driven nonprofit. It's not to say that companies or organizations like the Red Cross and St. Jude are not phenomenal organizations. They are helping people every single day, beautiful nonprofits. It's just that a lot of the forgotten nonprofits are the small to mid-sized community. When a hurricane comes in, like it did in Florida, unfortunately, it's a lot of boots on the street that are community-driven nonprofits, community animal shelters, whatever it might be. And we felt that there was a significant need. There are a lot of software companies out there doing similar things to what we're doing, but a lot of them, again, great companies doing great things, but a lot of them are complicated and not necessarily user-friendly. So the benefit of what really started Auxilia is two of us are former executive directors. So we've run small and mid-sized nonprofits collectively for 30 years. We've dealt with donors, we've dealt with grants, we've dealt with the trials and tribulations nonprofits go through, we've dealt with triaging on a daily basis. And frankly, we've used a lot of the systems available, a lot of the systems available as users. And what we really wanted to do is create a system that was far more simplistic, more intuitive, if we could, and be at a price point that was beyond reasonable, something that every nonprofit could afford. Because I think that's also been a big part of the complaint. And so that's what really motivated us, is just to focus on giving back to community and to create something that actually helps nonprofits grow.
Awesome. So from what you have said, what makes a difference is simplicity and being affordable to nonprofits. What also, from how long actually have you been doing this? When did you start?
Yeah, so we've been a company for almost 4 years, and we have a plethora of clients now. We have, what's been really neat is we have several consultants that refer donor management systems that have looked at our software and we joke that they were skeptics, right? Oh, another donor management system, that says they can do everything. And ironically, one of there's several things that make us significantly different than the competition and than the space. And by the way, this isn't a live about go to Auxilia necessarily. It's a live about use a donor management system, whether it's Auxilia or elsewhere. Nora is correct. I mean, at the end of the day, these systems, this technology is put in place to help you thrive, to make you more efficient. That is substantially important. So we're not like Auxilia or nothing. Definitely, there are other software programs that may be more beneficial for you, and that's what you should absolutely look at and go through those demos and talk to their sales teams. But yeah, we've been doing this for almost 4 years, and certainly proud of what we've put in place. In regards to differentiation, our focus is really on donor outreach, donor engagement, and donor retention. And I think not necessarily everybody else's focus. It's not just about making sure your donor data is in the Auxilia database. That happens. That's true. But it's really about helping. Our focus is on helping nonprofits grow. One of the substantial differentiators, we give every one of our clients a fundraising coach. So we have 4 fundraising coaches that have just a tremendous amount of experience of raising millions of dollars on staff here at Auxilia. So though we are a software company, and though you would see a software demonstration if you were to look at what Auxilia is offering, there's also the human element that is a substantial differentiator. It's partnering with our clients and understanding what they're trying to accomplish and solving those problems with technology, but also solving those problems with solutions that they can put in place. And if they execute, they will be rewarded with an increase in donations or an increase in donor retention. That is our focus, and that is what we've been extremely successful in doing.
Amazing. I love the fact that they can schedule the post. You can send emails. You can really run reports that are beneficial, because if you don't know the data, you cannot really manage it. You cannot really utilize what you have. And like you said, donor retention is very important. So knowing the information help you retain those donors. So and this is the fact that you guys have the coach for fundraising. That's really interesting, and this is really, I haven't seen it anywhere else, so this is really great.
Yeah, no, I mean, just to speak about that for a moment, if you ask our 4 coaches, again, these were not, one of the coaches is our partner and founder, Ayanna Rutherford. She is an influencer in the nonprofit space, but the other 3, actually, they joined the team. We're bilingual. We have one that's in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and we have one on the West Coast, one on the East Coast of the United States. And what's really kind of cool is they met us in different aspects of the tenure of Auxilia. And as I mentioned, as skeptics, we've heard it all before. And then they saw the software, and then they started referring us clients, and those clients started using us and saying, Auxilia is everything that they said they were and more. They aren't just dropping off software at our doorstep and saying, good luck. Hopefully it helps you with your donor engagement, but they're actually teaching us how to use it. We're a company that, of course, everyone has knowledge-based articles and videos, and we have those too. But we find that actually doing webinars with our clients, we find that the human touch, the interaction, the personal interaction proves to be so much more beneficial. Our clients' success is Auxilia's success, and they refer us clients, and it's just super important. You did mention a couple of things, right? Small and mid-sized nonprofits. Everyone, there's essentially 5 generations, and every generation wants to be communicated with just a little bit differently, right? My mom and dad, hi mom and dad, they are older, and my mom and dad love getting mail. Right? They love reading the newsletter. They love opening that envelope and enjoying a cup of coffee and reading what that nonprofit is doing. And I think it's important to communicate with that generation via mail. Yeah. Then you look at maybe a little bit younger generation, all the way down to Gen Z, right? They're not going to open up mail, and they don't know how to write a check. And that's not a knock that they don't know how to write a check. They weren't raised that way, right? They're giving via Venmo, they're giving via credit card. They want to give via a LinkedIn post, a social media post. That's how you're going to communicate. So when we realized very quickly, right, it seems like common sense that these 5 generations want to be communicated with differently, and they want to communicate back to you differently. They want to receive and give differently. We put a program in place that does just that. You're able to reach all the generations the way you need to. You can do email campaigns, capital campaigns, events, tickets, registrations, social media posts, all through the Auxilia platform. Now, are there other software companies that are doing those things? Yes, but most of them are integrating with other platforms. You can all do that through the Auxilia directly, through the Auxilia platform. So we've tried to take that small and mid-sized nonprofit that is resource constrained, that's using a MailChimp or a Constant Contact or an Eventbrite or a Hootsuite, you name them, right? They're using 4 or 5 or 6 different platforms, very common in this space, and they're on the potentially free version. Great. But if you can actually have one platform, put all that together, do your credit card, your credit cards come in and they automatically populate to Auxilia, automated thank you notes go out. It's just a huge relief off of the executive director's responsibility to know that technology is working for them, not against them.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, communicating with people, like you said, like in different ways, is very important. Also, I was thinking before working with nonprofits long time ago, mailing is not important, but after we tested like many mailing campaign, actually you can raise a lot of money with just like sending a letter in the mail. It's interesting. Like we always think like this way does not work anymore, or maybe people do not open their email and they're not checking those emails. So why people still like collecting emails? But all these ways still working, and you just have to touch base on every possible way to get those donors. So what do you see like from the clients you have? Like what do you see a common mistake they might have be doing, and that's prevent them from raising donations the way they should be?
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to actually answer it a little bit differently. So let me tell you what I think first, because obviously I'm the founder of a technology company, so I am pro technology, and I understand being anti-technology. I get it, but I always kind of use this phone as an example, right? I have an iPhone 13, and I don't have an iPhone 1. There was an iPhone 1. There was an iPhone 2, 3, 4, 5, and us as consumers, we upgrade. And I think a nonprofit needs to start looking at that, right? I think a lot of nonprofits get set in their ways, and I mean no disrespect of, hey, I've got this grant coming in, or I have this donor that gives X amount of dollars every year. You know what? Unfortunately, donors pass, and unfortunately, grants sometimes don't get renewed. And the pandemic taught us anything. It taught us that we need to diversify. We can't just rely on email and mail and social media, and we need to communicate. We also realized that during the pandemic, donations actually increased by almost 7% in the United States. And it was interesting to see those numbers come out. And so my answer to your question is simply, I think the biggest mistake that prospective clients do is they don't embrace technology. I understand it needs to fit within the budget. I totally get it. And there are options to be able to do that. But technology, in this case, from a nonprofit's perspective, is your friend. A lot of people say, it costs so much money. Well, how much is it going to cost you if you forget to send the donor a thank you? How many donors are you losing because you're not using technology? How many donors are you not communicating with because you're not using technology? I will tell you, my partner and I sent out 100 donations last year on last Giving Tuesday, 100 donations, small donations to 100 nonprofits not on Auxilia. And 71 did not send us a thank you note.
Wow.
You want to talk about, well, technology costs money. Those 71, we didn't give them another donation. They have never reached out to us. to say thank you for the donation. I don't know what their nonprofit is doing. I don't know. I mean, they're not pulling at my heartstrings. To use technology to a donation comes in and an automated thank you note goes out and communication is free flowing and ongoing is amazing. So that's in my opinion, a critical point that nonprofits are making. From my client's perspective, on what are they doing that they can pick. Frankly, I think our clients have done an awesome job of embracing technology, an awesome job of utilizing our internal team to help them. I'd like to see our clients use our fundraising coaches more because they're there. We don't charge. We give that service for them to help them increase donations. But I think across the board, nonprofits need to do a much better job of embracing technology and a much better job of diversifying, where the donations are coming from. The statistics and the data shows the number of donors is actually decreasing. So there's going to be less and less donors. It's also showing that the amount of donation is increasing. So there is a small land grab for these donors. It also states that over the next 15 to 18 years, the greatest transfer of wealth is upon us. The elderly population, again, unfortunately, is passing, and they're giving their money to nonprofits and they're giving their money to the younger generations. And if you're not focused on how to communicate with the younger generation, you're missing out on that potential of those donations going into your nonprofit. So that is why, in my humble opinion, it's critically important. I'll get a nonprofit say, Steve, 70% of our demographics are over 65. So we only just want to do mail. Okay, that's fine. And we can continue to do it that way. But what are you going to do when they're not around? How is your nonprofit going to sustain? And you do have to hit the other generation, and it may not come to you right away, but if you're not doing it at all, it's never going to come to you at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really important with this age, to stay top of mind, having those campaigns, and always reaching out to your donors. Like you said, if you don't communicate with your donors, how do they know what you're doing? How do they know, okay, yeah, your donation helped them? So it's easier to make people donate to you when they pay money to you first time. It's easier to get them to donate more and have a larger donations. But if you do not communicate with them, they will find someone else because they want to see what they have done and how did they impact the world, in the way they would like to have their impact. So yeah, thank you so much for this inputs and for the projects you created to help people really and the organization grow, because I know a lot of people they're using Excel and they're using Excel for donations, for accounting, and they don't realize the opportunity cost it's costing them. Maybe they will grow in a year or two. Now they're giving their self less chance to grow. Maybe they will give up their organization, because they do not see impact. They get busy. Maybe they're spending a lot of money and just spending 10 years without seeing any impact. So really the people who they're supposed to be their beneficiaries, they lose because maybe there's no one else paying attention to them, while you as a nonprofit leader, you noticed there was a problem and you wanted to help, but because you did not use technology and you do not utilize professionals' help, where you can really stay in compliance, manage your donors, communicate with them, you cannot have this information. You could not really stay focused and raise money, and you get drained financially because you cannot really raise the money. Because Excel can do, it cannot help you grow. You can start with Excel for a few donors, but we're a human being, we get busy. You have to have really a system and something automated to help you notified, and just have it as a habit to check and to have a schedule and really work with technology and utilize it to grow and to help your end user, the beneficiaries that you want to really help, and help people get to those people. Maybe like you are the only one who's giving attention to that cause and to that mission. So you really have to utilize technology. Um, yeah, thank you so much. So what else? What do you think like people should know that if they did not have time to do anything else, this is a must, especially now we're coming to like Thanksgiving, we're coming to the end of the
Yeah.
year. I think this is a golden 2 month for nonprofits because everyone wants to give, like for different reasons, like either for being thankful and just help people to celebrate, or for Christmas time, or even for just like having a tax exempt donation so they can save in taxes based for a cause rather than paying to a government where they don't know, they cannot control where it does it go. So what do you think like they should know and just must do?
So a couple things. Let me take a step back to your Excel comment. By the way, a lot of our clients come from Excel or Google Sheets, and I don't think any nonprofit should be embarrassed by that at all. What I to your point though, there are systems out there that are going to put all of it together in one place, and Excel's not sending out automated thank you notes, right? I think when whomever's listening hears thank you notes, yeah, no, of course that's common sense. Again, the statistic was 71% apparently didn't have common sense to send out a thank you note. So it's not a knock. It's just that I think nonprofit leaders are so busy triaging on a daily basis. They have so much on their plate and they have huge hearts and they're making such a huge impact on community, right? I remember talking to just this wonderful individual, and we were talking and I was giving them the demo of Auxilia, and right at that moment in time, she received a phone call that a semi trailer was carrying all these animals, and anyway, there was an accident, and they were taking in 30 dogs that night. She needed to go, and I understood it. And my point is, nonprofit leaders are so busy, have so much on their plate, have so much going on. My comments to all of you would be simply, there are programs in place, Auxilia being one of them, but there are others. And I'm a fan of all of them to help streamline so much, help keep you organized, help make you more efficient. That is something that I would absolutely mention. The other thing is, I think there's this misconception, Nora, that all of us are super expensive. There are absolutely, actually, I'm actually going to, I'm not going to name names. There are some CRM DMSs that are free for nonprofits. And I will tell you, it sounds good, but most of those nonprofits, you get what you pay for. And if it's free, it's complicated. It's not doing what you need it to do. And there are some that are extremely expensive and probably worth every penny. But a lot of small and mid-sized nonprofits don't need all those bells and whistles to manage the day-to-day. And then there are several of us that are in that small to mid-sized space that I think are all appropriately priced, and you could be surprised. I will tell you, our pricing less than a cell phone bill. I know my cell phone bill is more expensive than what we're charging our clients. So I think we're very priced appropriate. I think that, take a look at the demo, hear what clients are saying, understand what we bring to the table. We're not for everybody. Do we have every single bells and whistles to the competitors that have all those things and are charging thousands of dollars a month? No, absolutely not. And that's not who we want to become. We want to focus on, the industry of the small to mid-sized nonprofit that's driving revenue, that is at that, $100,000 to $25 million revenue point. That's really the fabric of the community. And we have the modules in place to streamline all of those things and to support them. But I will say until I'm so passionate about it, it's not just for Auxilia. I can't speak for the others. Mm-hmm. It's not just software. It's software plus you get 2 individuals. You get a client success manager, you get a fundraising coach at your beck and call within the price points. You don't have to pay extra. You don't charge by donor record like a lot of these folks do. Hey, the more donors you get, the more money I should make. We don't operate that way. This is our price, and this is where we want to be. So, super excited to be able to show your group and anyone listening, what we've created. Remember, two of our founders are former executive directors. So what we get when we demo the software, I mean, within like 15 minutes, even faster than that, we're like, holy cow, where have you been my whole life? This is so easy. This is magical. And I will tell you, it's been an incredible journey these 4 short years of how many people have signed up with Auxilia, and certainly proud of our team here.
Awesome, thank you. And for you, if you are watching now in the replay, put your questions. We have put also a link, then you can sign up for a demo to get an appointment. So someone will someone will contact you and schedule a demo. Is that what happens when they sign up, fill up that?
Okay. Yeah, well, there's actually tracking on that. So just put in your information. We'll know it came from this, and I'll gladly give a discount for anyone that signs up using that link that Nora put in. And, certainly here to, what's the worst? Spend 30 minutes time with me and our team here to learn about how and why we've been so successful for our clients.
Yeah, make sure you take this advantage of this now, and especially we're coming out of the end of the year. You don't want to miss it. You want to be ready for Giving Tuesday, Thanksgiving time, and the holidays. So make sure you sign up for this so you can be ready, and to make sure you motivate your donor, you connect with your donor. And also, if you do not know how to reach out or how to identify your donors, I have a class coming up actually next week. It's going to teach you exactly how to identify and how to reach your donors. But having a tool like Auxilia is very important. It's not gonna work without a donor management system. You have to have a donor management system in order for that to work. So make sure you sign up for Auxilia to get the demo and to speak to Steve and his team to make sure that this software will work for you, and I'm sure it will. And let's get you ready, and also sign up for the class if you are ready to learn more, and we'll be happy to help you.
Well, real quick, I do want to tell everybody that's listening, listen, Nora is spectacular, so please sign up for the master class. We've had several people that have given us just such positive feedback, Nora, on your master class. So thank you for putting that together, because, and that's why, strategic partnerships are so critically important to Auxilia. Partnering with Nora's books has been a blessing. I know we've shared clients back and forth, and everyone has been so complimentary of you and your organization. And I think that's the whole thing I want the world to know is there are companies still out there trying to help you grow, trying to protect you, trying to serve you. Where you guys are serving everyday community, there are people like Nora who are here to help support you and make sure you're protected. And there are companies like Auxilia that will do the same. They actually exist and they're priced appropriately. Nora, I've always wanted to say thank you for allowing us to be strategic partners with one another. You've been nothing but spectacular.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for saying that. I'm so proud of your partnership, and so thankful that for when we got introduced over a year ago now, it has been a pleasure, and I'm very happy to be your strategic partner. Thank you so much for saying that. What else would you like to have people know about Auxilia, or just because you've been an executive director, what's the most what would you like to advise people and let them know from your wisdom and what you've learned in this years?
You know what, research. I would want executive directors again to know, not to be repetitive, that do your research. There's again several of us, and some more are good fits for you and others aren't good fits for you, and that technology is your friend. Again, I don't know anyone that's still, my point is, I don't know anyone that uses the phone I remember, my grandmother using the phone where you dial the rotary phone, right? Or the, we don't even have office phones in here. We use a web phone. My point is technology is a good thing, and we evolve, and those nonprofits that are evolving. I actually, real quick story. I met, I won't say name, but I met an individual today, absolutely spectacular, and said this. We were stuck in the 1990s, and we need to get to 2022. We use Excel, we use paper, and how are we going to grow or even expect to grow if we don't embrace technology? This person said this to me, not the other way around. And I was just listening and realizing that so many nonprofits are in the same boat. And I think part of it is scared of the unknown. I think part of it is, that's going to cost something. And what's the ROI? And I just think sometimes it's looked at differently. Again, the cost of growing the technology is one thing. Yep, it has to be within budget. Yep, board needs to approve it. But hopefully you have a board that has vision and really challenges like, okay, do we look at everything that we need to look at? What are our expectations? What is this going to do? Rather than, well, it costs X amount of dollars, but we don't want to spend that. How many donors did you not get, or how many donors did you lose by not using technology? And I just think it's looked at incorrectly. And again, it's not about Auxilia per se. It's about Auxilia and all of our friends at the competitors, all that I have great deals of respect for, that have put a program in place to help these nonprofits grow and to better protect them. So I would end on that. Do your research. There's companies out there that fit your budget and that actually can help you grow. Just like you guys have been helping community, we can certainly help you do the same.
Awesome. Yeah, that's very important, like to distinguish between expenses and really investment, because using the technology, it's an investment. It's very important. Like, you have no idea how many times like people, like, you save time, like even like with anything, like anything you want to do, like whether in donor management system, CRM, like for other companies, or just like scheduling, right? Like scheduling appointment online, sending the link, please schedule a time here. How many back and forth like that will save? And time is money. If you invest on these technologies, like it's gonna really save time and help you retain donors. And it gives you a professional image, because like people can really give you 50 here, 30 there, but to really invest in a major donation and more donation, like they need to see that you're professional, you are using technology, you have really a good presence, online presence, because this is the image right now. And when they see there's something like that, that you are really serious, so their money, they can donate more money to you over and over again. And like people, the research shows that in the US at least like $6,000 people donate during the year. $6,000, that's $500 a month in average. So why don't your organization be that organization? But you have to show a good image. You have to show that you are really capable of managing that, and using technology is the thing that will give you that return on investment.
Two last points I'll make. I'm sorry, Nora.
No, go. We have time.
You just made me think of something. So I looked down because I was writing it, so I didn't forget. I'm gonna date myself here a little bit. Don't let the gray hair fool you. I remember when I was a kid, I always looked forward to going with my mom and dad to Blockbuster Video, right? Or like video, the VHS, right? Or
Yeah.
And my question is, where's Blockbuster Video now?
Yep.
Oh, I never worked at Blockbuster Video. I'm not knocking Blockbuster Video. My point is, Blockbuster Video no longer exists. There's a company called Netflix and Hulu that exists because people went into streaming and things of that nature. And look, you even hear Netflix is having some issues, whatever, right? Don't know, don't work there either. And certainly don't want to make any assumptions. My point is, if you're evolving, if you're exploring, you're thriving. If you're innovating, you're thriving. And I think the companies that have stood the test of time have made those adjustments and have embraced technology, and they've embraced new ideas, and they've embraced new leadership, and that's okay. And everyone is always nervous to change. I get it. I totally understand it. But those that are embracing the potential are thriving. I'll end on this story, and I promise. I actually, yesterday, I met a nonprofit, and they said to me, 99% of our revenue is from grants. And we have 12 donors. And we've been in business for 60 years. And they're a very reputable nonprofit, and a nonprofit that is doing amazing work. And this individual had the vision and foresight to say, we need to embrace technology now, or we're in trouble, because if we lose one of those grants to not diversify and have some additional money coming in from donors, we're struggling. And to your point, she said, oh, some of these grants ask for this data, like your donor data, and she's like, it's not even in Excel. I don't have it. So I have to I don't have the data. And so now when you're doing grants, you can pull those reports directly from a donor management system like Auxilia and have that information at your fingertips. And that's so critically important. So anyway, what a pleasure to be with you. What a pleasure to see you again. You are my friend. And I'm certainly flattered to be on this live with you. Anything else I can answer for you, Nora?
No, thank you. I'm glad you mentioned that story. Thank you so much, Steve, because I've seen a lot of nonprofit organizations really relying on grants, where they really have to have more than 70% of their income coming from individual donors. And when they embrace technology, it's easier to make that happen. Thank you so much, Steve. And for everyone who was watching this in replay, make sure you sign up for the Auxilia, so you can get the demo and learn more information, and hopefully sign up and just utilize Auxilia for the years to come. And also sign up for my mentorship, and I promise you that you'll get a great return on investment, ROI, and you will end this year strong for your nonprofit, and we'll start 2023 strong as well. Thank you so much, Steve. I'm really happy to have you with me, and thank you so much for your great strategic partnership. And thank you for being here, and hopefully we'll be here again soon, talking to people and answering other questions. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll talk.